Hey everybody, welcome to my latest Stories in a Song video here on YouTube. Well, in behind me here today, on the TV back there, you can see there is a song playing silently called Ride Captain Ride by Blues Image from 1970, co-written by Frank Konte and Mike Pinera. That's the song I'm going to do today on this video. This is my first Blues Image song on my YouTube playlist, My Karaoke Songs, and the 299th video on there in total. So the next one's a little bit of a big one, number 300. But this is a song that goes back for me as far as I can remember. Listening to our hometown radio station, AM 630 CFCO in Chatham, Ontario. Then on various oldies stations over the years. I got reintroduced to the song in more recent years when it was played in the grocery store where I work. Shortly after that, I sang it during a karaoke night at Dooley's Bar here in Miramichi, probably about 5 years ago. I think it was during COVID, because I remember having to sit down and sing it, not stand on the stage and sing it. Today will be the first time I've sung it since then. Now, here is some information about the story behind the song, background, and lyrics explained of Ride Captain Ride. The number of keys on Blues Image band member Mike Pinera's Rhodes piano inspired the song. Pinera said, quote, "Okay, I need a first word, and what came into my head was 73. I liked the rhythm, and I went, 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay. The song just sort of wrote itself from there," unquote. In the lyrics, the crew invites others to ride to a new land where they will feel free. However, the local people are too preoccupied with life's troubles to hear or answer their call. When the crew sets sail, they are never seen or heard from again. The captain rides with his crew on a mystery ship which disappears forever. Now, here is some information about the co-writers of Ride Captain Ride, Frank Konte and Mike Pinera. Konte has only co-written one song that has been released by more than one artist. That song is Ride Captain Ride. It has been covered by 6 different artists. I'll say more about the cover versions of Ride Captain Ride later. Co-writer Pinera also has Ride Captain Ride as his only song that has been released by more than one artist. And I'll say more about the co-writers of Ride Captain Ride later in the artist bio section. So this is my first video of a song written by either Konte or Pinera. Now here is some information about the original recording and release of Ride Captain Ride, and the personnel who played and sang on the record. Blues Image made the original recording of Ride Captain Ride at American Recording Company in Studio City, California in the fall of 1969. Personnel who appeared on the recording were Mike Pinera on guitar and lead vocals, Kent Henry on guitar, Manuel Manny Bert Tomati on drums, Joe Lala on percussion and backing vocals, Malcolm Jones on bass, and Frank Skip Konte on keyboards. The song featured Henry on guitar solo and fills, with Pinera playing solo at the end. The recording was produced by Richard Podolor. The song was released with the release of the band's second album, Open, on the Atco label in April 1970. Ride Captain Ride was track 6 and ran 3 minutes and 46 seconds. The song was the only single from the album. The single's runtime was shortened to 3 minutes and 6 seconds. The longer version, which I will be singing today, repeats the chorus several times before the instrumental coda leaves the song. On the Atco single, writing and arranging credit went to the band as a whole. It was also released in April and entered the Billboard Bubbling Under chart on April 25th. It debuted on the Hot 100 on May 9th, reaching the top 40 on May 23rd, becoming the band's first and only career top 40 pop hit, making them officially a one-hit wonder. Just like the last band, I did a song by Derek and the Dominoes, also a one-hit wonder. It charted for 12 weeks and peaked at number 4. It also reached number 4 in Canada, explaining how I heard it on the radio when I was a kid, although I didn't understand the lyrics until recent years. I always thought the term mystery ship was referring to space travel, which was so much in the news when the song came out. I guess I only remembered the chorus and missed the mention of San Francisco Bay. The song also reached number 5 on Cashbox and number 23 in Australia. On the year-end charts for 1970, it ranked number 28 on Cashbox, number 32 on Billboard Hot 100, and number 84 in Canada. The single was certified gold in the US by the RIAA for sales of 1 million units in August 1970. Robert Christgau, writing in the Village Voice's July 30th, 1970 issue, called Ride Captain Ride a, quote, great single, unquote. Now here is some information about the cover versions of Ride Captain Ride. 8 cover versions of Ride Captain Ride have been released to date. 5 of those are in English, 2 are instrumentals, and 1 is in Spanish. Of the 5 English versions, I am only familiar with 1 of the artists who have covered it. This is a good thing because one of the reasons I like doing these videos is to learn more about artists who I'm not familiar with. So I'll start with the one who I am familiar with. American jazz rock group Blood, Sweat and Tears, featuring David Clayton Thomas, in 1975 on their Columbia album, New City. Then the ones who I'm not familiar with are Hong Kong group Society of Seven, previously known as the Fabulous Echoes, in 1970 on their Uni Records album, Open Up and Live, live from the Outrigger Hotel, Honolulu, Hawaii. Next, American studio project using anonymously contributing artists, The Tribes, in 1970 on their Pickwick 33 Records album, Sounds of the Woodstock Age. Then, jumping ahead 50 years, American duo from San Francisco, California, The Cult Inside My Head, on March 20th, 2020, on their self-released EP, Resubmission. And American studio group specializing in sound-alike covers of music from the 1950s through 1970s, Scruffy Group, on February 13th, 2024, on their TVS Records single, Ride Captain Ride. There are 3 more cover versions of Ride Captain Ride. Now here is some information about Blues Image. Blues Image was an American rock band, active from 1966 to 1971. They performed in the blues rock and hard rock genres. Blues Image was formed in Tampa, Florida in 1966 by singer-guitarist Mike Pinera, born Carlos Michael Pinera on September 29, 1948 in Tampa, Florida, and died on November 20th, 2024, aged 76, of liver failure. Singer-drummer Manuel Manny Bertamatti, singer-percussionist Joe Lala, born Joseph Anthony Lala on November 3rd, 1947 in Ybor City, Florida, and died on March 18th, 2014, aged 66 in Tampa, Florida, from complications of lung cancer. Keyboardist Emilio Garcia and bassist Malcolm Jones. They were later joined by keyboardist Frank Skip Conte, born October the 2nd, 1947, so he is now 77, still living today. When Garcia left the band to become a pilot in 1967, Conte joined. Blues Image moved to Miami in 1968, where they helped form an innovative new music venue, The Image. Blues Image became the house band at the club, which featured acts like Cream, Grateful Dead, and Blood, Sweat and Tears. The band moved to Los Angeles and signed with Atco Records, releasing their self-titled debut album in February 1969. Kent Henry, featured on guitar on Ride Captain Ride, though uncredited, was born Kent Henry Plischke on April 5th, 1948 in Hollywood, California, and died on March 18th, 2009, aged 60, in Portland, Oregon, of complications of Alzheimer's disease. Pinera left the band to join Iron Butterfly in the fall of 1969 during the recording of Open, with Henry becoming his official replacement on guitar, and new lead singer Denny Correll, born February 19, 1946 as Dennis Correll and died on November 29, 2002, aged 56, from heart failure, handling vocals. The band broke up after the release of their 3rd album, Red, White, and Blues Image. The various members of Blues Image went on to become parts of other rock bands. Bertamatti later played and recorded with the New Cactus Band and toured with Iron Butterfly. Chai Coltrane, and Bobby Womack. Pinera also played with Iron Butterfly, New Cactus Band, Ramatam, and Alice Cooper. Konte joined Three Dog Night, and Lala played with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Lala's percussion work also figures prominently on the Stephen Stills, Chris Hillman-led group Manassas. Henry played lead guitar with Steppenwolf prior to their breakup in 1972. Carell later recorded a series of successful contemporary Christian music albums, helped expand the genre's commercial appeal, and achieved airplay with several singles on CCM radio during the late 1970s and early 1980s. Gary Dunham, who also toured with the last incarnation of Blues Image, also became a solo CCM artist. Pinera released several solo albums, including In the Garden of Eden. The group can briefly be seen performing Ride Captain Ride in the 1971 film Dusty and Sweets McGee. And now, here is some information about Blues Image's recording history and discography. 51 records were released on Blues Image and the Blues Image between 1969 and 1975, under those two different names. Slightly similar names, but a little different. Their recordings appeared on the Image, Atco, Atlantic Oldies series, and Nice labels in the US, Atlantic in Australia, Germany, Greece, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Peru, Portugal, South Africa, Spain, and Sweden, Atco in Brazil, Canada, France, the Philippines, and the UK, Rebound in Canada, Hispavox in Spain, Top 4 in Iran, Ri-Fi in Italy, and MTR and TK Records in Thailand. Their discography includes 3 studio albums. Their first album reached number 112 on the US Top 200, and their second reached number 147. They have 1 compilation album and 4 singles. Besides Ride Captain Ride, 1 more single, Gas Lamps and Clay from 1970, charted in the US, Australia, and Canada. Okay, that's all I got for a spiel today. Now I'm going to sing Ride Captain Ride. Alright, let's do this thing. Caravan version, we do have that, so it makes it a little easier to follow along. Here we go now. Ride Captain Ride, as made famous by Blues Image, written by Skip Konte and Mike Pinera. Here we go. 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay, rolled off of the ship, and here's what they had to say. We're calling everyone to ride along to another shore, where we can laugh our lives away and be free once more. But no one heard them calling, no one came at all, 'cause they were too busy watching those old raindrops fall. As the storm was blowing out on the peaceful sea, 73 men sailed off to history. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. Be amazed at the friends you have here on your trip. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship, on your way to a world that others might have missed. Alright, got off to a little rough start there, but we're running now. Can't always trust the playing of these videos, these Carafun karaoke videos. Sometimes I like to hesitate. Here we go now. 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay, got off of the ship, and here's what they had to say. We're calling everyone to ride along to another shore where we can laugh our lives away and be free once more. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. Be amazed at the friends you have here on your trip. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. On your way to a world that others might have missed. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. Be amazed at the friends you have here on your trip. Alright, take it home now. Woohoo! Yeah. Blues Image. Ride, Captain, Ride. 1970. Well, that was a lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed that song. Maybe it brought back a few memories from your own childhoods way back in the day, but I sure had fun doing it. Alright. Well, won't have to wait too much longer for another video to get started. Let me see now. Friday. Today is Wednesday. I'll be starting up my next one on Friday. And guess what? It's another one-hit wonder. How about that? 3 in a row. Didn't plan it that way. It just came to my head that way. A song called In the Year 2525 by Zager and Evans. Alright, so join me then for that song. Have a great day and be here next time because I ain't even started yet. It'll be number 300 next time, so it's a big one. See you then. Bye now.